Hello, everybody. Welcome to India Sports News, and I am thrilled to have with me senior editor of the India Today television network, who you have seen a lot on Sports Today, Sports Tak, India Today, Aaj Tak, who's here with us, Rahul Rawat. Rahul, welcome to India Sports News. Hope you're well.
I'm good. I'm good, Chandresh. Thank you for inviting me. And this is a new platform for me also. Uh, I hope and I wish you all the best. I believe you'll be concentrating a lot on other sports as well, not just on one particular sport. And of course, it's a big year. As in cricket, we have the Asia Cup, the World Cup, but there are a lot of other activities happening around. Uh, Within the premises of the sport and also outside. So I hope you will get to cover and you will speak on a lot of these other things as well.
Yeah, I hope so too, Rahul. Rahul, there are a few burning issues that are currently doing the rounds in India and the sport around the world. But top of the mind, the question that comes to my mind is this protest by the wrestlers and what's happening with that. Gory details of the FIRs coming out every day in the newspapers. What really is the situation? What is going to happen? You are with your ear to the ground. You covered the Olympics. You cover a lot of Olympic sports as well. What is really going to happen, and what is happening right now?
See, obviously, whatever is happening and what we are seeing is not good for anybody who is somehow or the other associated with the sport, be it wrestling, not just limited to wrestling, but every sport. Because we have covered a lot of these sports and also the sports person. So, it's not good. B, you know. The worst part is that we haven't heard anything officially from the officials as per as in the people who have been tasked to do the investigation. Of course, it's been now in January it started, and we are already in June now. So it's been close to 5 months, or say more than 4 months now, and we haven't heard anything as to officially as what happened in that investigation, that the sports ministry, in fact sports ministry, you would remember, had appointed a committee. In fact, two committees were appointed. One was by the Indian Olympic Association and the other was by the sports ministry. So they have filed their recommendations. Now what happens to that report? What has happened with that report? B, the police authorities, initially they were reluctant to file the FIR uh, by the athletes, by the wrestlers, and now they finally lodged the FIR, and what is coming out is we don't know. These are all sources. I know a lot of newspapers and websites, they've been reporting the FIRs. What has been uh, told by the wrestlers to the police. Now, where does it leave us? A, obviously, the other day we saw these wrestlers marching towards Haridwar to throw away their medals into the river Ganga. But first, and also, I would like to tell you, having covered this particular sport for so long, WFI, at least I think, was one of the best run sports federation in the country. But that does not allow anybody, be it Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh or anybody, not to be penalized for crimes and for the alleged crimes that these athletes have been talking about.
That's an interesting way you put the whole thing, and it's getting very scary in the sense that we don't know what's going to happen next. Uh, what's your sense?
No,
What is going to happen next?
see, initially, I'll tell you, initially the demands were that the wrestlers wanted to get rid of WFI chief, that is Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. So he wanted to, they said that we don't want Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh to be part of that Wrestling Federation of India. They had said that there were allegations of misappropriation of funds. There were allegations of sexual harassment against the WFI chief. uh, what happens? See, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh is now no longer the WFI chief. His tenure had ended, and as per the sports code, he was no longer eligible to contest for the next elections. So he now is, as it is no longer part of the WFI. B They also wanted the entire WFI to be suspended. They wanted that a fresh regime from scratch should be elected. Um, but there is this one thing that initially I thought that they just wanted the wrestlers just wanted each and everything to be followed by the ministry as per their instructions. Because when they said that we'll appoint a committee, there were a lot of discussions, in fact, at till 2 a.m. In the night, and we were there right outside the sports minister's residence that day in January. And they said, no, we don't agree with your committee. And then the committee was formed. Then they said, we don't agree with the members who are part of this committee. Then another female wrestlers was inducted in that committee. So as of now, now things have changed. Now they want WFI chief to be in the jail. So that I think will take time. But the silence from the authorities is something. I think the government, the ministry could have done better to handle this entire situation, because you don't want to see those visuals that we saw the other day, where the wrestlers were being dragged out of Jantar Mantar, were being pushed into that police van, and then they were marching towards the towards Haridwar. This is an Asian Games year. Next year you have the Olympics. I know the three protagonists here, uh, Bajrang Punia, Sakshi Malik, Vinesh Fogart. I don't know whether they will be able to repeat what they've already done. Vinesh, of course, hasn't won an Olympic medal, but what about the others? And you would see these are some athletes. Initially in January, majority of the akhadas, even Satpal, or the akhada from where Sushil Kumar comes, even athletes, wrestlers from his akhada also joined that protest. And now I can't see Ravi Dhaya there. I can't see Deepak Punia there. I haven't heard anything from them. Ravi Dhaya, I think, is still good enough to win another medal in the next Olympics, which is in 2024. That's next year. So, the sorry state of affairs from the authorities. B, where does it lead to wrestling, which has been the most successful sports discipline in this country as far as Olympic is concerned. If I'm not wrong, I think seven we've won, seven medals, seven individual medals we won from this very sport every year since 2008. Every Olympics we have won an Olympic medal in wrestling. Even in 2016, when we won just two medals, and an unexpected medal came from Sakshi Malik. So, you don't want to see now everybody, even foreign media, is reporting about it. Where does it leave the image of the country, the sport, where one person who's heading the entire federation is being accused of sexual harassment? So, I'm worried about the youngsters, or the sport in general when it comes to next Olympics.
And the future of these wrestlers who are protesting at the forefront, that's also in question, isn't it? Because you don't know what's going to happen next with them.
Mm, See, I think there is no way that they can now come back. Come back, as in, I think for them, um, they have to carry on with this fight, because somehow or the other, I think they also realize that if they don't succeed, what you are saying is going to happen. Because see, you never know where you get your next medal from. But Bajrang, I thought maybe he had it in him to uh, go for another medal in Paris. Sakshi, I don't know if she would have won the medal again. Vinesh, I had no hopes, to be very honest. So I was a little surprised, and there are a lot of other young wrestlers as well. Now there are people who are saying this is a fight between Haryana lobby. There's a Haryana lobby and a UP lobby. Haryana lobby, of course, there are people involved. I don't want to, and there are politicians also who are backing. What they are saying that most of these medals, if you see, they are won by Haryana athletes, and the federation and the sport is being run by somebody who's sitting in UP. So
Hmm.
that is also something that a lot of people believe, not just saying, but they also believe. But for them to throw away their medals, obviously something very major must have happened with them. That is the reason why they are saying that we'll just throw away our medals. But I think the bigger question, or the question, not the bigger, but obviously now there is a school of thought which says that you can't just throw away these medals, because at the end of the day, when you see a medals tally, it's not the individual's name, it's the country's name that the
Yeah.
medal you get the medal for. So there are various theories. It's just that I think it's dragged far too long, and the government, or the at least the sports ministry, I think should have taken a better view of this.
Did you actually think they would go through with that particular threat of throwing the medals in the Ganga?
Interesting. But to win an Olympic medal, I don't know. I can't say. At least that's what they said initially. I remember, one day I was at my place, and Bajrang Punia called me, and he said that we are resuming our protest. You have to come, and we need your support. So, and Naresh Tiket, a representative of Khap Panchayat,
Hmm.
Dipender Hooda.
Hmm.
These are all people who, I won't say political motives, but they have political background. Now, imagine Naresh Tiket comes out, and he announces that we have given a 5-day ultimatum to the ministry.
Hmm.
If they don't agree to our demands, we'll throw away our medals. Now, they had made all that effort. You never know. I won't take that risk. Um, to allow them to reach there, and then because I think it would have been a huge embarrassment for everybody, especially for
I
the ministry,
I agree
because
with
see,
you.
you will have to blame that maybe the issue has not been handled properly.
They have given a 5-day deadline. I think we have 2 more days to go in that particular thing.
Yeah,
So the threat is still there.
yeah, very much there. And then
And
they were supposed to throw away those medals into the river, and then they were supposed to march towards the India Gate for fast unto death,
hmm,
another hunger strike.
it's really a scary situation. Really scary situation. But there's been some criticism of the fact that not many of their peers or champions from other sports have come forward and supported them. Some have in oblique way, but some have chosen to remain quiet. How do you
No,
see that particular situation?
no, Yogeshwar Dutt.
Yeah.
Yogeshwar Dutt is a legendary figure. Initially Sushil Kumar, of course, he won 2 medals. Yogeshwar won in 2010. I'll tell you, in 2008, when both of them went for the Olympic Games, for the Beijing Olympic Games, a lot of people who had been covering wrestling at that time actually thought that Yogeshwar had a better chance to win an Olympic medal.
Hmm.
But it didn't happen in 2008, but it did happen in 2012. Now, Yogeshwar Dutt was also part of that committee that the ministry appointed, that oversight committee. And
Hmm.
apparently, these wrestlers were not happy with the fact that Yogeshwar was also part of that committee.
Hmm.
Yogeshwar Dutt has been very vocal and has been very straightforward in his support for Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh.
Hmm.
As you said, there were the other big athletes. At that time, I remember Ravi Dharia was also there,
Hmm.
but Deepak Punia, who just missed that bronze medal by a whisker in um, at the last Olympic Games in Tokyo. They were also there, but now they are gone, and I haven't heard anything from them. Satpal, of course, is there. Satpal, the legendary guru, the legendary wrestling guru, who's trained Sushil, um, Yogeshwar, and even Bajrang, by the way, even Bajrang. So I haven't heard from him as well. So maybe what you are saying is right. Um, so there are, of course, two sides to the of this coin, of the story as well. And one, of course, favors the wrestlers because of the treatment that they are being meted out, and the other is the version of other people that we've also spoken. You must have spoken. We've spoken to the wrestlers also, and what I am saying is, a, the situation should have been handled in a better manner. A, B, you don't want to see your athletes, but irrespective of whether they won an Olympic medal or not, you don't want to see them in the streets protesting, fighting for a cause. And in a year where you have an Asian Games, C, Wrestling Federation, I thought was one of the better sports federations compared to other. And D, whoever it may be it Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh or anybody, be it the highest authority in the country or in sports, has to go through or has to follow the law of the land, and should be penalized if things like these have happened.
Absolutely. And the '83 World Cup heroes supposedly came out in support just yesterday, but the BCCI
Who?
president. So I
No.
saw.
So how do, because I read this yesterday that 83, the class of 83 has supported the cause, and I've asked the government and all these things. But what came out? Was it a press release? Because I remember, you would remember when they launched that movie,
Uh,
83 movie. So they
yeah.
formed a company, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they formed a company. I remember Kapil Dev or Mr. Madan Lal. They mentioned about this.
Okay.
So they formed a company. So did the initially I thought the really, because I was traveling yesterday, so I couldn't speak to a lot of these people. But did a press release come?
I don't know, some kind of statement came out in their name, but I don't know who initiated it. But Roger Binney, the BCCI president, who's also a member of the '83 World Cup winning squad, has backed out from that particular statement and said that I'm no longer. I don't know who issued the statement, but I don't endorse the statement. I let law take its own course. So I don't know where it is headed because on record I've heard only statements of Madan Lal and Kirti Azad on the whole issue. And Kapil Dev has always obviously made some stray comments about it on social media. But we've not really heard anything as such from the other 10 players.
But do you remember what exactly was the statement?
It's basically said in very generic terms that we are with you. We were pained to see the treatment of the wrestlers on 28th, and we
There's
request them
nothing
not to.
wrong in it, by the way.
There is
You know,
absolutely nothing.
why do you have to be so defensive? I'm saying
Yeah,
uh, that we are with you. Justice should be served. I think justice that applies to everybody, be it the
yeah,
wrestlers, athletes, or anybody in the country.
yeah,
I don't think there's anything. Even if you support, even if you say that we are with you, we
yeah,
you have our full support. There's
yeah,
nothing wrong.
yeah. Absolutely, I agree with you completely. I don't know why they were being defensive about the whole thing because I felt that there was nothing wrong in what they spoke about, but I think obviously they have their own understanding of the matter better than us because they're much more experienced. But they sort
No,
of backed
see,
out.
Chandresh, you have been part of this industry for so many years, for decades now. You also know now a lot of people, they don't want to get into any sort of controversy where people have to choose sides, because
Yes,
see, it is either black or it is white. There is
yes,
nothing in between. There is no gray area anymore. Either
yeah,
you are with us or you are against us. That's the problem now that
yeah,
we are headed into. And uh, that maybe, and all these celebrities, they are a little defensive. They just want to stay away.
yeah,
I'm There are so many people on social media. They're saying, "Where are the cricketers? Why aren't they supporting?" The other day, I met a few days back. I spoke to a few people, and they said, when I don't know when I don't know exactly what has happened. I remember one cricketer. Who was it? I think Dada Saurav Ganguly during the IPL. He was asked this question on a public platform about his views. He said, and couple of days after that, couple of days after that, I met him, and we asked him, Dada, said he said, I don't know the issue. I have so many others. I've been busy in a lot of other things. There's IPL happening. There is so many things that are happening back home in Calcutta and in England also. So he's saying, I don't know the issue. Why should I come out and say I am with you? I am with them. I am with them. But why should I get into something that I'm not even aware of?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
but that is one thing. But yes, overall, you would have seen in India now, the superstars, be it any field, every walk of life, they choose to stay away from making these controversial remarks, if I can use that word, controversial.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think better to be safe than sorry later
yeah.
on, and we've seen
True,
that a lot. And there's no right or wrong in this.
true, true.
And
Absolutely.
everybody. But we hope that the wrestlers get get justice for what they're demanding. Or
Absolutely.
I think that's the only thing least we can expect. As in, like whatever they're saying, let law come forward and uh, completely nullify or justify whatever they are claiming.
Absolutely. And you can't have different yardsticks for different episodes or different things. I remember I was it's been a few, I think maybe a year ago. I remember I was in office when I was told that a coach had misbehaved, and basically a cyclist had alleged that her coach has been misbehaving with her during a foreign trip or tour. Okay, immediately the coach was called back. He was suspended. Then I think in a week's time something similar happened, and same thing. The Sports Authority of India asked the that coach also to be suspended, and um he was removed. And then Sports Authority of India organized a seminar where
Hmm.
all the female athletes were invited on a Zoom call, where Sakshi Malik was also there, and they
Hmm.
were asked if anything of this sort has happened with you. And I think majority of them said no. Sakshi was also there. I can understand, I can also say today that why didn't she, when she was asked by the authorities at that time, why didn't she come out and say, this has been happening with us very frequently and regularly. So, but the other thing is, I think maybe Sports Authority of India, I don't think on a Zoom call, if I have 50 other people there uh, uh, with me discussing and about a topic, that I would say no. Something, I was also I'm also a victim of sexual harassment, or somebody else is a. So I think that you need to handle the situation also in a better way. So there, in that case, I think Sports Authority of India could have done better.
Okay, let's moving on to the next thing that is brewing in the world of sport, and that's the whole Asia Cup saga. And then the result, the corollary is what happens with the World Cup, with the India Pakistan situation. What really is happening? I'm getting confused with what's
Nothing is
happening with the.
happening. So basically, Chandresh, I think nothing is happening. And I'm using the word before that is, I think nothing has happened so far.
Yeah.
Nothing as in nothing. So you also know that, and everything that we've been hearing is through media. Okay, I did
Hmm.
it. I spoke to Najam Sethi. I think something started after that interview, because Sethi realized that it's nothing is happening. So he
Hmm.
proposed a hybrid model. And I did an interview with him some days back, and I think 3 4 weeks back, and he said, this is a hybrid model, and if India doesn't come to Pakistan for the Asia Cup,
Hmm.
we will not participate. In fact, we will not go to India for the World Cup. Then
Hmm.
he said, even if they accept this hybrid model, ACC, the Asian Cricket, still we will not travel to India for the World Cup. We will also request the ICC to schedule or stage our matches somewhere outside India. Since then, nothing has happened. Whether the hybrid model will be accepted, whether the hybrid model will not be accepted, I
Hmm.
think nothing has been discussed. Either it has already been finalized and it has to be conveyed
Hmm.
to the people. That's it. I think nothing has happened. The BCCI had invited people, the heads of these participating nations, except for Bangladesh,
Hmm.
for the IPL final. There also, I have my doubts if anything was finalized. There was
Hmm.
an SGM that happened a day before the final.
Hmm.
There also, nothing happened. Nothing was discussed. Also, Bangladesh. Cricket board chief, I think maybe he didn't come for the
Shut up.
meeting.
Yeah.
He didn't come.
Yeah.
So Pakistan is also doing its best, and India will also do its best to. So for me, if you ask me from a neutral point of view, I think hybrid model is not bad.
Hmm.
One
Yeah.
day you will get the announcement that Asia Cup will be staged in Sri Lanka. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what is going to happen ultimately. That Asia Cup will be moving to Sri Lanka,
So you
and
tell me
there's a
what could be the reservations. You tell me what could be the reservations that uh, if you are at the helm of the
hmm,
BCCI, you tell me what reservations can you have?
hmm. I think the only reservation could be that if they accept the hybrid model for Asia Cup, they would have to accept the hybrid model for the World Cup as well.
Who?
The
India.
BCCI, yeah, because then that could become the norm going forward.
No, but why do you? But it's the ICC that has to decide, take a call. No.
But if the ICC, even if the ICC takes a call, the
Huh.
member board can uh, go back and say, "My government is not allowing me to travel. You
Can
please
they?
find a solution." They
On
can.
what ground?
They can say that we have a security threat. There's a force majeure clause in every contract, so they
Fair
can
enough.
invoke that, and they say that I am not. I don't. My government says that there is a perception that you could be under threat in that particular country.
Fair enough. Fair
And
enough.
again, there is no right or wrong in this. Again, there are two strong positions in this, and
Then you're not moving forward.
you're not moving forward. What world cricket lacks, I think, is like a statesman who can, whose voice is likely to be the final voice or the arbiter of all disputes in world cricket. I think that's what world cricket lacks right now. But I'm hopeful with regards to the Asia Cup because Pankaj Khimji, the Oman
Oman. Yes, yes.
representative,
Pankaj Khimji.
he is very well respected amongst cricketers, amongst boards in the Asian circuit. And
And
he was the one dealing with Najam Sethi on
yes,
this particular issue. So I am
yes.
hopeful that he'll be able to find a solution because he has a lot of respect amongst these boards and amongst cricketers.
And he's good friends with the BCCI secretary also, the
Yes,
ACC,
absolutely.
the Asian Cricket Council chief. I'm
Yeah,
sure whatever the discussions that you are talking about, I'm
yeah,
sure he is doing at the behest of the board secretary, the BCCI secretary, and the of course Asian Cricket Council chief, Mr. Jaisha. So maybe he's trying to find a way out, or at least trying to find as to where the situation stands.
yeah,
Because BCCI now, I think more than anything, it's a battle of egos. To be very
yeah,
honest, it's
yeah,
a battle of egos. But hybrid model, rather than Najam Sethi coming out openly not in the media, but I think he proposed this model, and somewhere he realized that it's not working. I have not been hearing anything. But
Yeah.
he should also realize nobody has heard anything.
Yeah.
So then he came out in the media saying that I have proposed this. I think the good thing would have been, it's a win-win situation. Hybrid model is a win-win situation for both.
Yeah.
Now maybe what he has done, maybe after coming out in the media and accusing BCCI and Asian Cricket Council, maybe he has the chances of going through with this model have dropped considerably.
Yeah.
It would have been better if all the parties, all the stakeholders would have sat down and would have discussed that it's a win-win situation for you also. That you said that we will not travel to Pakistan. I understand you don't want to travel to our country, that is Pakistan, there, if Najam Sethi. And we also want to, because we also don't want to lose our face back home, because it's a very big tournament, multi-nation tournament, and it also helps us. Um, the fact that Champions Trophy is going to happen in 2025, so it helps us in some way, that organizing a multi-nation tournament. We've organized a multi-nation tournament. That's quite a big achievement. So
Yeah.
let us organize this part, these first four games. But I think Najam Sethi, and later we got to know that he's saying no. You please, you will have to host two Super Fours also.
Hmm. Yeah, I think instead of talking to each other, they kept talking at each other, not directly but indirectly. All
Exactly.
that doesn't help matters. I think in such high stake situations.
And they are both two senior administrators. Najam
Absolutely.
Sethi, especially, he's been running. He's a politician. He's a journalist, and he is a veteran administrator. So
Hmm.
I honestly expected him a lot better from him, at least from Najam Sethi. Or maybe we are underestimating him. Maybe um, this is his administrative brain that is telling him to do this. Maybe he has seen the writing on the wall that it's not working
Yeah. Last
in
few
the best
questions.
possible. Sorry.
Last few
Yeah.
questions on the World Test Championship final starts in about 3 4 days. Your colleagues are going off to UK today. I believe that Mr. Naz is traveling to UK and then Mr. Gupta travels tomorrow.
Yes. Mr. Naz is traveling, I think, tomorrow morning, and
Okay.
Mr. Gupta, he has a 3 a.m. flight tomorrow.
Okay.
That will be
Monday
Monday.
morning. Monday
Monday
morning.
morning.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're going to have a saturated coverage from UK.
Absolutely, absolutely. This
What
is
do you
finally, maybe this is as close as we can get to an ICC trophy that we have not won in the last 10 odd years.
so the Indian team will be in a new kit, but without a sponsor.
Yeah,
Who's
because
responsible
it's
for
an
this?
ICC. Huh?
No, but there's no team sponsor. Byju's as
Yeah,
Byju's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
contractors.
yeah. But
So
in
they didn't have.
ICC event, can you use the logo, the
Yes, you
team
can
sponsor?
on the leading up.
On yeah, yeah, not
Yeah,
here on.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah.
So just tell me. I'm just curious. Suppose the last match was in Chennai, March 15th, when they wore the Byju's logo. For 2.5 months, they didn't get time to, or before that, they didn't get time to find a sponsor for the Indian cricket team. Are you trying to tell me that?
I think
Or nobody
IPL
applied their
kept
mind.
them busy.
Okay, nobody
IPL
applied
was
their mind.
kept,
Yeah, yeah.
or maybe
They were too
nobody
busy.
applied. Huh?
They were too busy.
They were too busy, or maybe nobody applied, or maybe the sponsorship money that may the Indian cricket or the BCCI is demanding is too high.
That could possibly be the case, but it's a telling statement that it's not a big deal for the BCCI. It must be loose change for them to manage a 25
Yeah.
member squad in UK for about 15 20 days. They're loose change for
Yes.
them because they make so much money from other sectors. But
True.
it also tells you that that priorities are somewhere else. As in, like there should have been a proper team managing and ensuring that there is a sponsor in place. That's what major sporting teams do.
System.
There's no
You have a
system.
system.
Yeah, yeah. You don't stop anything just because. So, like, if, for example, during elections, if there's a major cricket story, you don't stop covering cricket because there's an election happening in the country. That's it.
You don't stop covering, but of course, the coverage or what you see on television, at least, the election takes precedence. But yeah, system, you cannot give an excuse. If I am a journalist, I'm working in a newspaper, for example, my job, irrespective of whatever it is, there will be last two pages of that newspaper will be sport. I can't say that, it's a new year, elections are happening, so I won't do. I think if that is why you have a system, everybody is doing his or her job.
But your pick, who's winning, India or Australia?
I think toss can decide, but if you ask me right now, I think Australia might be might be slightly ahead. They would start as favorites for me. India, with having played so much of white ball cricket in the last few months, will have to adjust and acclimatize also. And Australia, we've been saying that Pujara is there. Pujara has been playing, but he's the lone face there. By the way, some of these Australian cricketers were also playing
Yeah.
in county cricket. And with white ball cricket, you have to adjust also. You have to acclimatize, especially, white ball cricket. Usually, you have muscle memory. You have those hard hands. Now you have to shift to soft hands.
Hmm.
So in a matter of a week, you'll have to switch that, and it's a complete change. Australia, obviously, because of the conditions and everything, they will start as favorites. Maybe toss can change that viewpoint for me. I don't know if you agree with me. You might
No, I completely
agree.
agree. In fact, I have one additional point to that. Is that last time the World Test Championship final happened, it was the New Zealand lower order
Right.
that added crucial runs, which proved to be crucial in the end because India's batting failed in the third innings. This time as well, I see the same problem because India don't have an express fast bowler to dismiss the tail, or they don't have a leg spinner to dismiss the tail. Ashwin and Jadeja take care of the tail at home in India, but away from home, Pat Cummins, Mitchell Stark, these guys could be very sticky in my view. On
And this, yeah, sorry.
and they could really prove to be the big difference between the two sides because there's nothing much to choose between the two sides except this particular factor in my view.
But see, for the fast bowlers, I don't know what the bowling combination would be because the weather, how it will turn out to be. Wickets would be slightly fresh at this time of the year. Wickets will be slightly fresh there, and Shami and Siraj. The way they both were moving the ball, the white ball. I think they will relish this opportunity to just have a go, and with that red ball, I think they will fancy their chances. But are you aren't you too much dependent on just two bowlers who, by the way, especially Mohammad Shami, who has been bowling at length
Yeah,
for the past couple of months. Haven't
yeah,
didn't miss a single match. Siraj, of course, they didn't make it to the playoff, so he must have been free on 20th or 21st. Since 21st, he's not been bowling with the white ball. So, and
yeah.
he's younger also. Shami is not getting any younger. And then, what is your combination? Are you going with four fast bowlers and one spinner, or you're going with uh, three fast bowlers, or say two with two spinners and three fast bowlers? Because in that case, you will always have to make a choice between Jadeja and Ashwin if you are
Yeah,
going with the four fast bowlers.
yeah.
Because, but if you ask me, I think Ashwin should play. If he is your number one spinner, if he is the best spinner in the world, your best spinner has to be part of the playing 11.
Absolutely, I agree with you. One telling information is the stat is the fact that June is a month when Oval has never hosted a test match for about 140 years or something like that, sir. Never hosted a test match. The test matches have usually been in August or September. They're usually the
Mhm.
season ending test match. So it's going to be interesting in that sense also to see how June plays out for the Oval as well. So that's going to be an interesting one.
True, true. And I'm being very honest. I would I would want to see India lift that ICC World Test Championship trophy. But to start with, I will give Australia an edge. Maybe runs. If India wins the toss, they bat first. Put say somewhere around 400, 425, 400 runs on the board. I think I will change my prediction. I will say now it's even Steven for the one-off test match. And preparations, they do matter a lot. You would remember last time what happened New Zealand. Last time also it was a similar situation. You had to play the final, the IPL, and then you had to go for the World Test Championship final. And then what happened? The New Zealand squad. What New Zealand decided, they played a two-match series against England, which was not, by the way, part of the World Test Championship cycle.
Yeah,
So they said, we just, how important was it for them? So they, what they did, and you would remember there have been days when India have said they don't want warm up games also.
yeah,
And there is this one side, New Zealand team, which said that we want to have a two-match series against England. That will
yeah,
be the best preparation for the World Test Championship final. And that was a series that was organized later. It was not a scheduled series in the FTP or part of the World Test Championship cycle. So
yeah,
I think preparation does impact preparation. Whatever we may say, we may have the best bowlers, best batsmen in the world, but
yeah.
switching switching to a different format, preparation of the for the conditions, preparation for the opposition, they all make a huge difference.
Interesting thing is the fact that a lot of the Aussies you spoke about. I think three or four of the Aussies played in county cricket, but a lot of them were at home, and if
Smith
only
played, Labuschagne was
Labuschagne
there.
played. I think Nesser played, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay,
Uh,
okay,
but most of the others, except David Warner and I think what's his name, Cameron Green, played in
yeah.
the IPL. But all the others were at home, so that could be an advantage as well. That India has been playing. Almost all the Indian players except say Bharat have been playing some sort of cricket.
Yeah.
But
And
for the
I I don't know if it goes in favor of KS Bharat or not, that he's
yeah,
not been playing. See, uh, either you are not part of the IPL and
yeah,
you are already there in England,
uh,
or you are part of the IPL and playing. So in
yeah,
Bharat's case, it's completely different. For 2 months, he didn't have any game time. I can, you can always say that, no, he was doing his nets with the red
yeah.
ball also, he was playing, doing everything. But then he has not had any game time, any game time. So I don't know. Maybe it might just go against him when they
Hmm.
actually pick the 11, saying that Ishan Kishan, at least and he was pretty decent for Mumbai Indians. I won't say he
Yeah,
was bad. He did have
yeah,
runs under his belt in this season. So they
yeah.
might say, let's go with the Ishan Kishan, because KS Bharat, he's not played any cricket in the last 2 to 3 months.
Last couple of things that I want to talk to you about is HS Pranoy won the Malaysian Open a few days
Malaysian
ago,
Open.
and the junior hockey team won the Asia Cup in Oman a few days ago. To In the midst of all the gloom and doom around Indian sport, these two pieces of news, good news for Indian sport.
Yeah, see, Asian junior hockey, I would expect Indian team to do well. In fact, I would expect them to win most of these tournaments, the junior tournaments, because in the last few years we've done quite well in junior hockey, in terms of investment also. In terms of investment, as in terms of the players that we've had. In fact, if you see even the senior category, the World Cups, the big tournaments, junior cricket has given us a lot.
Hmm.
I remember the likes of Manpreet Singh, Mandeep Singh, who are now seniors and now veterans. they also came from junior hockey. Also, they won the junior World Cup, or they won. I remember they were part of the junior World Cup squads. And so junior hockey, I would expect them to win more often than not, especially in Asia. By the way, especially
Hmm.
in Asia, where the competition isn't. I won't say that the competition isn't too great, but
Hmm.
still, it's comparatively easy for the Indians because they are. I think they are better prepared. When you mentioned about HS Pranoy, I think it has to be badminton has to be the only sport, I think, where females get more attention than the boys.
Yeah,
Your uh, men's or male badminton players have been doing exceedingly well in the last few years. They won the Thomas Cup.
yeah, yeah,
They won
yeah,
the Thomas Cup. Lakshya Sen, HS Pranoy, Kidambi Shrikant. I can still say that his graph has gone down in the last few years, but HS Pranoy has picked up. He has been just brilliant in the last couple of years. He was perhaps one of the reasons. I will not take credit away from the other players, but HS Pranoy, he was one of the reasons why we did so well in the Thomas Cup, and he maybe he's speaking at the right time. He knows that this could be his last chance at a medal in the Olympics. So I think he's doing his best in Malaysia Open or Super Series. Is always great for anybody.
Rahul, we can keep talking. We've already been speaking for a while now. Thanks a lot for your time. I just want to request you to, from your end, request all your followers on social media to like, share, and subscribe this channel and support this like they support every other platform.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Chandresh, I know you personally also, professionally also, and you have a very good reading of the sport. Not just, it's not about the sport, it's also about the situation where things stand. As in terms, not just be it things that are outside the sport, and good initiative that, a lot of these, I'll say, a lot of YouTube channels now focus only and only on cricket.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
on you that you are also discussing. Of course, cricket will be there
yeah,
because throughout the year we do focus, and there's so much cricket happening. But there are other things happening as well. As you spoke about wrestling, badminton, hockey. I think a lot of people may not be aware, as in that India actually have won the Asian Junior Hockey, at
yeah,
least through you. And trust me, there would be a lot of people.
yeah.
Nobody now, this generation does not read newspapers. Trust me,
Yes, yes,
I know it for a fact. They rely
yeah,
a lot on social media. So
yeah,
at least with you, with your channel, I believe that you will have your focus on other sports as well. And
yeah,
I would request all those watching us right now to share the videos. You know what
yeah,
usually happens is, if you share these videos that Chandresh is doing on his channel,
yeah,
it will spread the word. The moment
yeah.
people get to know more about it, I think it's an effort that it's a victory for the effort that Chandresh is making, and for also for you who would be listening to it, and also eventually for the Indian sport in general.
Thanks a lot, Rahul, for your time. I hope you can join us again on this platform very soon.
Sure,
We'll
sure,
chat with
anytime.
you very soon. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, sir.